Today, join me on a pair of Gulf Air A321neos, including one of their LR models with the long-haul business configuration, as I fly from Jeddah to Dubai via Bahrain. I'll sample their regional business class, the lounge at their hub, and their narrow-body lie-flat business seats. I've always heard Gulf Air is nice, but they can't seem to reach the levels of excellence of some of their better-known neighbors. Is it true? Let's find out. First, check out this beautiful terminal in Jeddah. You had me at indoor palm trees, Jeddah. Hey folks, I'm in the surprisingly quiet Jeddah International Airport, King Abdul Aziz International Airport, I should say. Beautiful place, really nice. If you haven't seen this yet, I had seen some videos, photos, so I knew it was kind of new and nice, but yeah, very pretty and very quiet, just not that much going on here. I guess it's built for a lot more passenger flow than they currently have. That's my best guess. I don't know if it gets much busier at certain times, peak times. Saudia does transit quite a few people through here to other places, but it's not on the level of the other big Middle Eastern Gulf airlines, I don't think. Anyway, today flying Gulf Air on two A321neos in business class. So that'll be a whole new experience for me as well. Headed over to Bahrain from here and then over to Dubai, landing there later tonight. So yeah, another little intriguing, all different Gulf flying experience. I do want to try Gulf Air on the long haul at some point. Haven't been able to fit that in so far, but at least I got a taste of them on the regional short haul, on the narrow bodies too. And we'll take it from there, ending up in Dubai in order to fly the new Emirates A350, which you'll have probably seen by now. If you're seeing this video, I probably rushed out that Emirates A350 video as quickly as I could because it was a noteworthy flight, newsworthy. So I'll stick a link up here. And yeah, let's do it. Let's go find Gulf Air. It seems to be departing, according to them, 15 minutes early. No idea why, but I'll take it. Why not? Yeah. But anyway, let's go see if that's true. See if the airplane is here. I think it is. I saw it landing on flight radar. See it at the gate. Big difference here from all the other big Gulf hubs as you pass through them is that almost nobody here is dressed like me. Western style clothing, jeans, hoodie, no, nothing like that. I've seen maybe 2 or 3 people. There's one now, but almost nobody is dressed like me, and that's such a difference. You pass through Dubai, Doha, Abu Dhabi, you have plenty of people from all over the world and a lot of people from Europe and the US. Not so here. After spending a really long time in this jet bridge, it was finally time to check out Gulf Air's regional business class, and here it is. The seat is interesting because the shell is really high compared to many business seats of this variety, so you feel more cut off from the cabin, which could be a good or bad thing depending on your preferences. I'd say it adds some nice privacy. The screen is huge and crisp, maybe too huge considering how close it is to you, but I'm not complaining. And when you recline, you really sink down because it's in this fixed shell, which is not a bad thing, but it's an unusual feeling. I'll show you more of that once we get going. Alright, the seat is pretty nice. You're very ensconced because this shell is quite big in front of you, so you feel like very in this seat, which is an unusual experience on a narrow body premium cabin, in my experience anyway. First time flying a cabin that looks like this. For now, I've got the aisle seat free next to me, and that is making a big difference in terms of feeling of space. If someone sits here, I definitely would have to make them get up to get out. So that would be a big drawback, but something you sign up for with the narrow body premium cabins, usually, at least the potential for that. But I've been pretty lucky lately with not having seatmates. Anyway, yeah, pretty good. Pretty good boarding music overall, quite nice.
نتجه إلى مطار بحرين الدولي. الرحلة سوف تستغرق ساعة و45 دقيقة. سوف نحلق على ارتفاع أقصى 35,000 قدم. نتوقع بعض الضبطات الهوائية.
So as you can see, you recline downward quite a ways, and it's pretty comfortable, except it doesn't leave much room for your feet. So it's a little awkward too. Okay for hanging out on a quick flight, I'd say, but probably not great if you were trying to sleep at all. It was a pretty nice flight on Gulf Air. I can't complain at all. That's a really nice way to travel on an hour or 2 hour flight, regional flight on a narrow body. Very nice product as those things go. The service was a bit perfunctory, and here I'm comparing them against the other Middle Eastern carriers, the Gulf carriers, the Saudiya flight I just came on, so they have a higher bar to clear. That was great by any standards, but you know, just nothing special. They didn't seem particularly excited to be there. You know, it wasn't bad, it wasn't rude, it wasn't I couldn't really point to anything negative. It was just about not having that level that some airlines reach, like Qatar Airways. I hate to always mention them, but you know, you end up comparing everything to that. So especially among the Gulf airlines, right? So not super wowed, so impressed, not the best flight of my life, but totally nice. And we got one more leg now to Dubai, under an hour, and it'll be all in darkness. So I probably won't film much unless something special or notable goes on in terms of the service. But I'll show you the lounge here, see which lounge I can use. And this nice terminal a little bit. It's another beautiful new terminal building. Maybe a little sterile compared to the others. A lot of white and bright lights, but still gorgeous. So let's see how we go, and then head over to Dubai a little bit later in a couple hours.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route.
One thing I found funny about this lounge is how they do have a bar serving alcohol, but they tuck it really far into the back corner and face the bar away from the rest of the place. This kind of thing just feels amusing. It's like, okay, fine, we know a lot of you demand alcohol when you fly, we'll grit our teeth and give it to you, but we'll hide you, kinda. This had the funny effect of motivating me to go order a gin and tonic, what can I say? Anyway, pretty nice lounge here with good food and drink offerings and plenty of nice spots to sit. Also not overly lit, which is always a win for me. I'm almost a little bit annoyed at this point because I just realized that my aircraft that I'm going to be going on this last little hop, Bahrain, Dubai, under an hour, was inbound from Munich, which meant that it was one of their A321LRs with the longer distance business class product, flatbeds, 2x2 up in the front, different to the one I just came in on, which is the more regional short haul configuration. So of course that means I've got to take out the camera and I got to get out the nice one because it's dark now to film this properly and do it justice, because I think that's what everyone is more interested to see than the regional one, right? You want to see the ones that are going to Europe. I think they fly them to Europe, to secondary cities mostly, 4 or 5 hours away from here, maybe also out east. I'm not sure. You'll have to tell me in the comments if you know. I'll also look it up after this. Anyway, it's about an hour before departure, but they said boarding was going to start an hour before. I wanted to see if it was true. Of course, no surprise. It's not. And by the way, I still don't have my bag. It's still in Amsterdam. And I, again, don't expect to see my bag for the next 8 days of this 9-day trip. And I don't know, I guess I'm gonna have to hit the malls in Dubai when I get there. I have a day free tomorrow, so that's good news. I evaluate every airline kind of with the standard of the best Middle Eastern carriers in some sense, because they do it so well, but especially if you're talking about another Gulf airline. And Gulf Air is one that's smaller. They seek to compete on quality above all, where they don't have the breadth of the route network, that kind of thing, fleet size. So I think it's fair to compare them to the likes of Qatar and the Saudia flight that I just came in on even. And I would say the service is not at the same level. But that was a really nice way to fly an hour, 2 hours regionally. I wish we had that in Europe. So, very good. Nothing to wow you though, so far. But let's see how this one is. Very short flight to Dubai. I don't expect too much from the service, but you never know in this part of the world. They can pull off amazing feats in terms of what they serve you on a flight that's less than an hour on these sort of intra-Gulf, cross the Gulf flights. It's pretty amazing what the standards are in general. So we'll see what Gulf Air has to offer on the second leg.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find.
This last leg to Dubai is very quick, just an hour, but I'd say it's a pretty nice offering. They send these planes to cities in Europe, so I think your experience will depend a lot on whether you're traveling solo or with someone. Obviously, for a 1-hour flight, this is amazing. On a longer flight, if you're alone, it's going to be annoying to have a seatmate, and I'd say this makes it uncompetitive among Gulf carriers. However, if you're flying as a pair, this would be really nice to be able to chat to each other during the flight in a way that you often can't these days. You'll be able to get good rest as it's lie flat and there's enough space that it's all comfortable. But again, the service was kind of half-hearted. They don't seem to have that special something you tend to get when interacting with Gulf carrier cabin crew. And I couldn't quite get why on both flights they would come up and ask if you wanted anything to eat or drink and kind of leave it at that, as if you should somehow know what was on offer. No menus were offered and no really good descriptions, so you had to kind of press them for answers as to the options. It felt like it would be an inconvenience to try and find out everything you could choose, and so that was kind of limiting. They do apparently have a full bar, but what exactly is on there is anyone's guess. Food was okay, nothing to complain about really, but I wasn't wowed in any way here, basically, is the bottom line. So is it as good as the big Gulf Airlines? Unfortunately not. And that's a shame, because as a smaller carrier, they have a great opportunity to focus on offering quality over quantity, I would say. And they have a nice, efficient hub at Bahrain they could do it from. Who knows, maybe someday. But for now, it's an option that works, just don't expect the best. Nice late evening approach into Dubai though. So it's the next day. I got a little bit too tired in the evening to report back to give the final conclusions about Gulf Air. And you know, what can we say? I think it's a lot like what I've heard about Gulf Air. Very nice new aircraft, really a nice service in general, kind of overall pleasant Gulf airline, but not quite at the same level as the greats out here, the Qatar Airways, even the Emirates. I mean, the thing is, those A321neos, the hard product on both the regional and the more longer distance configuration, very nice. What they're offering is all very nice. Super nice way to fly an hour, 2 hours around this region for sure. But the service is not at the same level as you find on Qatar Airways, as I found on Saudia, Etihad. Emirates, I've had more variable experiences, but I think in general it's quite good. And I'm flying Emirates again shortly, so make sure to stay tuned, make sure to subscribe, like, and all that good stuff, because you won't want to miss that A350 video. But yeah, Gulf Air, the flight attendants just seemed, while not rude, while not actively offering a poor service, they just didn't seem like they were super engaged, nor that they really were taking pride in their work. It just seemed very kind of standard issue by the book, like nothing terrible, but nothing too warm and welcoming either. And that was true on both the flights. I'm not saying they did a bad job. I'm just saying that they weren't at the level of these others. So if they're trying to compete with the other Gulf carriers, being especially a carrier of smaller size, lesser known, I wouldn't choose them over any of the others with other factors being equal. They would have to have a superbly lower fare or a better schedule or both. So that's my verdict for now. I haven't tried their longer distance operation, their 787. Gonna have to do that at some point for sure, but that's my impression for now. Let me know if you've flown them, if you found the same thing, if you've seen exceptions to that. Am I wrong? Feel free to chime in. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching. And also, don't forget, I have memberships now. You can click join down there to see your options, and I hope you will join this little community I'm building here. You're already part of the community by watching and liking and commenting, but even more so if you choose to support me in that way. I really do appreciate it. See you next time.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had